Welcome back to Mini Lessons with Miss H, and today we're doing Unit 5, Week 3, page 223 and page 224. So all we're doing today is the SPA part of the spade strategy, okay? So first thing we always do is we survey the text. That means we look at the title and any text features. After we do that, we determine the type of story we're going to read. All right. So if a story has a photograph, we know that most likely it's a nonfiction text, right? And if a story has a picture, an illustration or a drawing, then we know that we could predict that it can be a fictional text or not a real story, right? So after we do that, we look at our prediction. We create a prediction using that knowledge. And then we annotate the text to do the heavy lifting, to analyze what we're reading. All right? So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the text features on my story. Before we start, I forgot. Make sure you have a name and today's date. And you guys have been adding these pictures to Portfolio on Dojo, and that's a great job that you're doing. Make sure you do it that way because that's the only way I can really see the pictures and all the work you're doing so I can grade it. All right? So, first thing I'm going to do is, and make sure if you have a different colored pen, that would be great for you to use. Okay? So first thing I'm going to do is title. I see a title. I see bold words. I see a heading. Heading. I'm going to flip it around. Oh, I see an illustration. But it looks like an illustration of someone. Now I see bold word. Bold word. And remember, you have 2 days to do everything on this video. All right? So yes, I expect you to do all the annotations with me. And feel free to pause the video if I'm going too fast. All right? So, based on this, the title says Dr. Elizabeth Blackwell. I see her early life, becoming a doctor. I see a lot of bold words. So I feel like the prediction, I'm ready for my prediction. So now I'm going to give you 1 minute to write your own prediction, okay? Let me find my little guy that tells me 1 minute. He's here somewhere. Here he is. You have 1 minute to write your prediction. Ready, set, go. All right, awesome. So now I'm going to share with you my prediction. I predict this text will be about, oops, I'm out of frame, be about a doctor and her life story, or more like a life summary, right? Because the summary tells us a quick story about someone's life, a quick paragraph, give or take. All right? All right, so now we're going to read the story and we're going to annotate for main idea and key details, okay? Dr. Elizabeth Blackwell. Today, many women are doctors, but that was not always true. Many years ago, only men could be doctors. Elizabeth Blackwell changed that. So right here, they're telling us that Elizabeth Blackwell changed that. All right? Back in the day, a lot of women could not be doctors, or women could not be doctors, and she changed that. So based on that, I want you to think about how could she change that? How could she have changed that? And this is what the story is going to explain to us. So this is our main idea. All right? Early life. Elizabeth Blackwell was born in England on 1821. Her family moved to America when Elizabeth was 11. When she got older, she became a teacher. In that time, teaching was a common occupation or job for women. Okay, so this one is telling us, this paragraph, this heading is telling us when she was born, okay, and it's also telling us that she was a teacher and it was normal. That's another way to say common, normal for women to be teachers, all right? Becoming a doctor. Then one of Elizabeth's friends got very ill. She wanted sick people to have less pain and discomfort. Elizabeth started thinking about ways to help people like her friend. She wanted to become a doctor. So, her friend was very ill, and this made her want to become a doctor. So, this is a key detail in this paragraph. In this paragraph with the heading titled Becoming a Doctor. So before, in her early life, she was a what? A teacher. And then she became a doctor. Okay, now let's flip to the back. Elizabeth talked to men doctors who told her that women could not go to medical school. Elizabeth did not agree or accept that. So she did not like that she could not go to medical school. That's a bold word, which means it's important to the topic. All right. So based on that, I think medical school is a place where they teach you how to be a doctor. She tried to get into a number of medical schools. She did not give up. So here, she did not give up getting into medical school. At last, she was allowed to study at a school in New York. New York. We should circle that because that's a setting. Elizabeth studied and learned medicine for 2 years. In 1849, she became the first woman doctor in America. A few years later, Elizabeth opened her own medical office in New York City. Wow. So she became the first woman doctor in America, and then she opened her own medical office in New York City. She asked 2 other women doctors to join her practice. Oh, that's a bold word, so this word is important to the topic. One of these doctors was her sister Emily, another character. The doctors took care of sick women and children. They also ran a school to train or teach other women as doctors. Wow. Elizabeth Blackwell helped people her whole life. She opened the door for women doctors. So this is our big idea. Big idea. All right. In other words, the author's purpose for writing the story. Okay. So now I'm going to give you 1 minute to annotate most of the things I annotated, okay? And then my expectation is that, hold on, that after the minute is over, you're going to read the story by yourself. You're going to have 1 minute to do that. All right, here we go. So right now, all you're doing is copying all the annotations and make sure you have your prediction on your paper. Ready, set, go. All right, so now I want you to practice your fluency and I want you to read this story in 1 minute. And we're going to do that twice. So hopefully you could beat the timer, okay? Here we go. All right, so I hope you read most of the words, at least got to the back in 1 minute. Now I want to see if you could beat that time. All right? If you could read more words the next time. Ready, set, go. Awesome. So now I'm going to read to you just for fluency. Okay? So you have your marker and you're following along with Miss Hernandez at my pace. Dr. Elizabeth Blackwell. Today many women are doctors, but that was not always true. Many years ago, only men could be doctors. Elizabeth Blackwell changed that. Early life. Elizabeth Blackwell was born in England in 1821. Her family moved to America when Elizabeth was 11. When she got older, she became a teacher. In that time, teaching was a common occupation or job for women, becoming a doctor. Then one of Elizabeth's friends got very ill. She wanted sick people to have less pain and discomfort. Elizabeth started thinking about ways to help people like her friends. She wanted to become a doctor. Elizabeth talked to men doctors who told her that women could not go to medical school. Elizabeth did not agree or accept that. She tried to get into a number of medical schools. She did not give up. At last, she was allowed to study at a school in New York. Elizabeth studied and learned medicine for 2 years. In 1849, she became the first woman doctor in America. A few years later, Elizabeth opened her own medical office in New York City. She asked 2 other women doctors to join her practice. One of these doctors was her sister Emily. The doctors took care of sick women and children. They also ran a school to train or teach other women as doctors. Elizabeth Blackwell helped many people her whole life. She opened the door for women doctors. All right, so now I want you to write, I forgot to say this, but I want you to write this you don't need to do. But you're going to write today's date, which is today, and you're going to write how many words you read the first time and how many words you read the second time. Okay? So make sure you upload this. Don't worry about this part yet on Portfolio. I'll see it when you submit page 225 on Friday. But I do want a picture of the annotations and your prediction on Portfolio, okay? Until next time, bye!